Are you tired of swapping out U-bolts like this when you change an axle? Because technically you're supposed to get new ones every time you change the axle. Tired of buying these things, or tired of fighting with the bolts because there's dirt and crud and rust on the threads? Do you have a solution at Barnes 4-Wheel Drive? This thing here is a U-bolt eliminator kit. Basically, you get two pieces, one that goes on top of your leaf spring and one that goes on the bottom of your leaf spring. It sandwiches it, bolts it together, and then you just go ahead and weld the bottom piece to the axle tube, and bam, you don't have to use U-bolts anymore. And today, I'm going to show how I am putting these on a rear 12 bolt for a Chevy axle on an Isuzu Amigo. Of course, this thing already has the Dana 44 from a K5 Blazer, and it turned out to be pretty massive for this size of car. And if you'd like to see more videos about this, there's plenty of content on my channel, so you can go watch that. But for today, we're just going to talk about those U-bolt eliminators. So when you buy these, it's going to have these little tabs right here, and that's so that you can weld these to a smaller diameter axle tube, like say a Dana 35 or Dana 44 or whatever you're going to put in the back of your Jeep or truck or Japanese car. What I've done, because I have a larger axle tube, is just shave those little tabs off, and now this fits perfectly on my axle tube, and I can rotate the axle however I want. Oh yeah, I almost forgot, this also has 3 different holes. Your leaf springs, if you didn't know, are held together by a bolt. The bolt usually fits in a hole on your leaf spring mount and a hole on the top plate. This has 3. They're an inch apart each. So you could put this in the stock location, which is the center hole, or you could move your axle forward an inch in case you lifted your truck and you don't want to get a longer drive shaft. Or if you want a longer wheelbase by at least 1 inch, you can use the hole that's farther away. Before you weld these on, there's a couple of steps that you can't skip. 1, clean your metal. This has got rust on it because I've left it sitting out. There's no telling what kind of grime and grease and, you know, cleaner and whatever, not to mention the mill scale left on it from the factory when they bent and cut this thing out. Next thing you want to do is you want to take your measuring tape or your ruler or whatever measuring apparatus that you have, maybe it's your hand, and measure between the flange of the end of the axle and the outside of this lower piece. I'm at 6 1/8 on this side. You want to take that measurement, make sure it's the exact same size on the other side, and if it isn't, you need to move the axle side to side until it is. 6 1/4 on that side, 6 7/8, 6 5/8 on this side. So I could go in about 1/8. Of course, this doesn't have to be perfect, but if it's way off, then you might drive a little weird, or it might look stupid. Okay, so for the next trick that I have for you, once this is right in the middle of where you want it to be and equal distance from the axle flanges, that's a pen, that's a Sharpie. Make sure to mark on your axle where these are gonna sit. But don't mark just along this edge here, mark it down below as well, because we're going to do some sanding. What I'm going to go ahead and do is actually mark this on the bottom of the tube at 6 1/2 inches, and that way I'll know for sure that I'm putting this back in the right spot. 6 1/2 inches right there. Okay, so now that we have our measurements done on both sides, so we know exactly where on this axis our lower leaf spring U-bolt eliminator brackets are going to weld, we need to remove these pieces, sand everything up on the axle tube and the pieces, and then we'll put them back in place, and then we'll go move to the next step. Now it's time to set the pinion angle, but before we do that, we need to make sure that this vehicle is at ride height. That way this pinion angle is correct at ride height and not while it's on jack stands. So I'm going to go ahead and remove those, and then we can get started on this procedure. Okay, you've made it to the fun part now. We've got this output shaft on our transfer case for this Amigo. We're going to take our digital meter, digital level finder, and figure out what kind of level we have. And we're at 89.3. We're going to take that measurement and we're going to put that on this pinion somehow. Alright, then we just start jacking up the front of this because this axle is still freed up. That's why you don't want to weld those yet. This whole thing will spin, and then the weight of the vehicle will kind of hold it in place till we can weld it. We need to jack this up till it's 89.2. It's 87, 89, 81, 82. Right there, that's about 89.3. Get it on there, right? 89.3, close enough for me. All right, now all we got to do is tack these on. We can remove all this, and that's how you set up the axle. Let's go ahead and weld this up now. Well, we're almost done. Got those welded in. The pinion is set correctly. This axle is dead set in the middle of the leaf springs, so we know that one tire is not going to stick out farther than the other. Now all we got to do is get some 5/8 or maybe even 1/2 inch would work bolts and bolt the top plate to the bottom plate for this U-bolt Eliminator kit and torque these down to, I don't know, 75 to 150 foot-pounds, or maybe a couple of ugga-duggas, and you're good to go. You're back on the road, and you never have to use a U-bolt on that axle again.